Hello buddy, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be building a fully functional factory. So without further ado, let's get into the time lapse. One thing that should be obvious to me, but for some reason never is the fact that if I use concept art for a build, it always looks like 10, maybe 15, maybe 300 times better than the original build that I was going to do. Although this isn't always the case with smaller builds, because I have tried doing concept art for smaller builds in the past and they just end up looking kind of goofy because I'm trying to fit in so much detail. But for bigger builds, concept art is absolutely fantastic because I never have any mistakes. All the details have been thought about beforehand and I just build it on this giant scale. And then if there are areas that I need to fill in, I haven't wasted all my thinking power on these bigger areas. I haven't wasted details on details that I've already made in the past a couple of days ago. So I'm just able to go in with fresh ideas and make the build look 70, maybe 80 times better than what it would have looked like in the past. I did it with my, I'm going to call it a Cloud King base because it was based on my Terra lore. Originally, Terra SMP lore. Watch that series, it's great, but it's finished now. Anyways, that base was built on that Terra lore, and when I did concept art of it, I thought it looked absolutely fantastic. I never actually built it in the server on the end, which is a bit of a side point. So in the future, I don't know if I'm going to do concept art for every single base I ever design, but for the ones that I really think could use a bit of concept art, maybe like mega bases and castles, I think I'm going to go ahead and do concept art first because it creates these absolutely beautiful builds where I'm just able to get my imagination out on paper first, and then I'm able to move over to Minecraft and make brilliant massive builds that actually show my vision for what I want them to look like. Moving on from that, this is actually the first big factory build that I've done in like a year. The last one I did actually got 19,000 views, which was quite insane. So it's definitely not an incentive for me to make another factory video. But I do like making factories most of the time. The only problem is I don't like working with the bricks because you have to make the build look really dirty when you're working with bricks. It's kind of the only texture you can do with bricks. And because I'm a texturer, I don't often go in and make my builds look just flat. So, you know, I don't really have a choice there. I kind of need to texture my builds because it's kind of something where in my brain where I go, if I don't texture it, I feel kind of bad or I don't like the build in the end. So it's kind of a catch-22. But since I've been doing flat, very clean builds for quite a while now, going back into bricks is actually quite fun. Although I'm not saying there isn't a way you can texture bricks to make them not look dirty. There's probably some genius out there who's done it, but I've never given it a shot and I'm too terrified to try. There was going to be a second time lapse here, but Replay Mod kind of messed it up. And with that, the final touches to the exterior are complete. What I did with this is I based it off concept art originally, but I think it looks really lovely in the end, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I say that after every build because not every build always. Sometimes I'm really disappointed in how something turns out, but I'm really happy with how this build turned out, especially because it's on par with some of my best builds. I think it might be my best build yet. I'm still doing extra touches even though I just said I finished them. And anyways, this looks really awesome. I'm really happy with everything that's happened. There is actually one area I still need to do, which I'll do now in between recordings. And after this, we are going to be doing the interior, which is all the inside. I did secretly start working on the interior. Just don't tell anyone that. This little waiting area here is going to be pretty nice. As you can see, this door's probably going to end up having to be open rather than a big block of wood, so you can walk in. So you can actually walk inside. Actually, I don't know. I'll figure something out. I don't know how I want this to look just yet, but when I come back, we're going to be working on the interior of the factory, and I'm going to be doing lots and lots of cool things, such as machines. And so with this, I've started on the interior of the factory. It looks really nice so far, doesn't it? It's just a bunch of yellow CMYK blobs, cyan, magenta, yellow, key, or black, which is a printer thing, but I've started using it in building because I think it's really easy to look at. What this is this is where all the pipes and all the conveyor belts and all the mechanical stuff inside the factory is going to go. If you remember at the beginning, I said I wanted to make the factory fully functional, but I don't think I ever mentioned what fully functional meant. What I meant by fully functional is that I wanted to use command blocks to make this factory feel like a real factory. You see things moving across the conveyor belts, certain areas like here. Maybe I'll do some armor stands standing here as if they're packing it away or whatever. And I just want to make the factory feel alive. And I'm not Not 100% sure exactly how I'll do that, but I definitely want to give it a try and make it look really, really cool. I used to work in a call center, and above and below that call center was a factory. And I never went down to the factory a lot. I mean, I went at the top, listening to customers, but when I did go down into the factory, I did get to see a good look at everything they made there. I saw a good look at how all the conveyor belts worked. I saw all the machines they used, which parts were automated, which parts were made by humans, how many intricate parts go into a factory is incredible. And when you see these Minecraft factories, they're a lot smaller than what they look like in real life, because there are so many machines, hundreds of them. This here, each one of those purple things is supposed to be a separate machine, and those black ones are like bigger machines too. We've got all these different components now. I'm thinking about what I want. I'm thinking about making it so it turns sludge into burgers at the end, and I think that could be really funny if it's like making making the edibles. But the edible burgers actually just comes from toxic waste. I think that's a funny idea. I'm building a McDonald's factory. Okay, and a lot of the factory floor has been finished. I've still got to texture a couple places, mainly the walls over here. As you can see, they're very clean. These walls out here and in here are very clean, especially for a factory, while outside they are very well textured. So I just need to texture all that, and then it can look good. And then this whole factory will start looking like a proper functioning factory. And then once we've done that, I'll use command blocks to use item frames, invisible item frames here, and try to make it look like there are items sliding across these rails that go all the way across, have these pistons pushing down, and eventually I'll have burger heads at the bottom here with like packages or whatever. If we come back here, I don't know if I showed you this, but this is the waiting room, all finished up now. There's going to be an entrance into the area, the main factory, through there too, which I think is pretty nice. So we got 2 entrances. And I don't know if I'm going to do anything above here. Maybe if you're lucky, when I upload this to Planet Minecraft and you can play it. Currently, I really don't have the time to do that because I'm working on a bigger project tonight with a couple friends. That one you won't see on this YouTube video. If you watch Ish, you will see it in maybe like a year. Or if you play the next event that he's doing, you'll see it. You'll see it whenever that comes out. But this is... I'm going to try and finish all of this today, including command block stuff, so I can edit it tomorrow. The first 3 days of the week I spent them I spent them doing the exterior. Also, I know this video might seem a little like scrapped together, and I feel like that's a very good possibility, because even when I was creating this at the beginning of the week when I started working on this, I went into a lot of burnout, and that is never good. But I think I built myself up, I got myself back together, and I've started working on it and just like force myself through the burnout. Usually I can do that, sometimes I can't. So maybe a smaller video next week so I can start to rebuild myself up, although that's what I said last week after I did the adventure map. So let's see about that. If there's an absolutely giant video next week, you know I didn't keep my word. Sorry. Okay, guys, and we have the factory working. Now, I bet you're wondering about all the slimy noises in the background. Well, let me give you a quick showcase. So if we look around this very, very quickly, sorry about the flashbang, I had to turn on my YouTuber shader. Basically, I've used the clone tool to clone this area twice back and forth, so it looks like these conveyor belts are moving along. And then I use lots of command blocks with sort of accurate timings to make all the sound effects. It's like, I couldn't actually do pistons here. I know that sounds weird, but I seriously couldn't, so the best I could do was using brewing stands and droppers, so please don't blame me for that. This area is very quiet. Maybe I need to do something with the conveyor belt sounds, but for now I think this works pretty well for the inside of a fully functional factory. Oh yeah, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but basically goop or toxic waste comes down through this pipe. There we go, gets made into all these things, then that gets flattened down here into an even flatter goop. Then it gets cooked up in here, it goes through these pipes and comes out in its burger-like form, and then these heat up it and spray paint it to make them into burgers, which then they are boxed up here by me. I box up these burgers. I promise I will deliver one hand-delivered burger to each person that's subscribed. I'm joking, I won't give you a burger. Maybe I'll give your comment a heart. What is... Oh no, I may have broken it. That's the only thing that's broken. I'll fix that. I'll fix that in a bit. Anyways, this world download will be on Planet Minecraft. I have to remember to do that. But yeah, it will be on Planet Minecraft. So if you want to click the link in the wherever I put the link, you can watch this, you can download it, you can give it a little look-see yourself. You can copy anything you want over from this map. Whether it's the command block stuff or whether it's the items, heads, or well, the heads aren't mine, I took them off a database online. But if you want to copy over the build, you can do that. I won't stop you. Maybe credit me, but if you can, or if you, it's not really, I don't really mind, honestly. I just care that you watch this video, and if you leave a like, then you know what? If you subscribe and like my video, I'll let you use this build, and you don't even have to credit me. Just give me the just give me it. I just need one more subscriber, I swear. Anyways, this build looks really cool. We're all finished with this. I think the exterior looks a lot better than the interior, but the interior, for what it was, it looks really cool too. And you know, it's moving, it's alive. It feels like a functional factory where stuff is actually happening, although there's nobody inside, like villagers. So maybe I should add some villagers in, but not right now. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video. And, well, there's nothing else for me to say but bye-bye!